Hi guys, in this video we're going to look at how to upload our model to Sketchfab. So, what is Sketchfab? So Sketchfab is a place where you can put your 3D models. It's an online viewer that you can use here. So if we just take a look, let's go in here. That's not what I want. Let's Sketchfab. Let's explore. So it's kind of like a social media where you can put kind of your models. So if we take a look at something that somebody's made on here that would be fairly good, let's have a look at this fish here. So it's a 3D viewer that you can use. It will take a little bit of time to load depending on your computer. And now I can then just click and drag. I can then also inspect their model. So down here, there's this little thing. So if I click up this, I've got a few kind of different things I can look at. So I can have a look at the diffuse, which is what it is. I could look at the matte cap. So this is what the matte cap of this model looks like. We can look at the wireframe itself. So this is a fairly hefty model here. Yeah, please don't make your models this high poly to begin with. And then we can go back to that final render. You can also turn wireframe on up here. Okay, most models aren't maybe this high poly, which is why it took a little bit longer to load than normal there. Let's have a little look at this one. This one might be less intensive. Super. So let's inspect this model. Let's have a look at the wireframe. So here's a fairly standard wireframe here now. Okay, so you can inspect people's models. You can have a look at their base color. You can look at the metalness, roughness, opacity. You can have a look at all of their different types of maps on here. Okay, so let's look at how we upload a model then. So first, we need to export our model from Maya. So I'm just going to get rid of the hypershade here. So I have my model here, and we need to export this. So we've been saving our scenes as Maya files. We now need to export this. So we're going to go down to export selection. Okay, they've moved it, it's up here now, so export selection. And I'm going to then change the file type from a Maya binary to an FBX export. Okay, and I'm going to again export that to my desktop. You may want to export yours somewhere different. So this is called spaceship textured. Okay, and then going to have a little look down on the right hand side. I'm going to look at embed media, and I'm going to tick this for now. So what this is going to do is it's going to embed my textures within the FBX file, which hopefully should make my setup a little bit more simple in Sketchfab. Okay, so let's export that selection now. So that is done there. So now I have exported this model. If for some reason you couldn't find the FBX exporter, go into your Windows Settings/Preferences, Plugin Manager, and then click Loaded and auto load on all of these, and it should load your FBX exporter there. Okay, so now if we hop back to Sketchfab, if I click Upload here, okay, so I can choose a file, and I put mine on my desktop. So it was my FBX there. So if I choose this one and then click continue, I can then name it. I can make it private. You can make it private over here. Allow texture inspection, age restricted content, etc., etc. Okay, so I'm just going to hit continue for now. You can set up yours a little bit more differently. So it's now just going to process this. Looks like that's working, and now it's loading my 3D model. And boom, there it is. It's all done. So now I've got my spaceship in Sketchfab. We can go on model inspection and I can inspect the model. So now I can look at all of your guys' awesome models when you upload them. If maybe your texture doesn't come in when you upload it this way, we can go to manage this model over here, and I can go into the 3D settings. Okay, it's going to take a little bit to load, but now I've got an editor that I can use over here. So you can move the model around a little bit. You can choose different ways to render your model. Okay, it will look ever so slightly different. with each one. Okay, there is a background that you can change, so the environment, you can make it brighter if you want. We can go up to lighting. This is the environment at the moment, so you can change the lighting, see what the lighting looks like with different kind of backgrounds there. Okay, I'm going to leave it as that. And then we go to materials. So materials is where you can plug things in. So you can see my base color has this in, but let's say it didn't. So we can click manage textures, and then we can import a texture this way. So we can go here and we could import our texture and click choose there. So now I've added a new texture in. Okay, so I could then select this texture for this model. Okay, but obviously it's already selected there. So we can play around with some of these other settings on here as well, how metal things are. I think I didn't set mine to, yep, it's on that. Okay, play around with the specular, your roughness, your glossiness. So if we do roughness, okay, it's now really shiny. Cool, so feel free to have a play around with some of these. You can turn things on here, so ambient occlusion is really, really good. Okay, and we have post-processing, so there's various different filters, so screen space, ambient occlusion, you can go in there. So this is adding a little bit of soft shadowing in there, so I just tone that down a little bit, a little less intense. Okay, so there's various other things that you can add. I can add a vignette around the edge here. Again, feel free to play around with this as you wish. Okay, and then when you've done, you just want to save your settings and you want to hit publish. Okay, now you've got a link, you can place this link on your blog. Okay, awesome guys, in this video we've looked at how to import models to Sketchfab and set up our textures as well. Okay, thank you very much.